Hello, pussycat dolls.
Hello. Hey, y'all.
Just
It's
kidding.
been a while.
Hi, Scary Dolls. I'm Mandy.
And I'm Caro.
And you're listening to Scary Not Scary Podcast.
Welcome
That was so ugly.
welcome to our podcast.
You're my meatball.
You're my meatball. Oh my
We're
gosh.
watching too much Jersey Shore per usual.
Definitely. You know, that's our comfort show.
Seriously, it is.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Makes me feel good inside.
Okay, so it's been a while since we've been on, and we have so much to fill y'all in on that we are going to skip scary news this week.
We need to skip scary news.
Yeah, we need to skip scary news because
Get ready. This is a good story.
we have a scary not scary curse going on. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
I know.
We, hit number 1 for the Reader's Choice Awards, and then we just started falling apart.
Yeah. But in a good way. No, not really in a good way.
No. So we decided to take Easter weekend off from recording because obviously the holiday. So we wanted to spend time with our families and not have to rush and record or, research over the weekend because Gato had like a 2-day event with our family.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then I was busy that weekend preparing for Sunday, and then I was all day Sunday with my family, and then we were tired by the time Monday came around. But first things first, I'm the realist. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
So Tim broke his hand, guys.
Our editor.
Let's talk about that first. Okay.
Our editor broke his hand.
Let me start from the beginning. No, I did not beat him up. That is what my dad was telling everybody on Easter. I had family in from out of town, and I hadn't seen them since the wedding. And basically, they were like, "Oh my God, Tim didn't look like that at the wedding. What did you do to him?" And Tim's like, "Oh, I fell with his, strong hand." And my dad's like, "Oh no, she beat him up." So I was hearing that all day on Sunday. But basically, Tim went to a concert with my cousin, and apparently he didn't really have anything to eat all day. So at the concert, of course, they're having a couple of drinks. He comes home, we were having a conversation and talking, and he's like, "I'll be right back. I gotta go to the office." I'm like, "Okay." Didn't see any lights turn on, so this fool was like walking around in the dark. In the dark in the house. And our house is super, super, super dark at night. And then next thing I know it, he comes into the room and I see him putting on his shoes. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I gotta go to the hospital." Super calm manner. "I think I have to go to the hospital. I think I broke my hand." I was like, "You fucking liar." I was like, "No, you didn't." Turns on the light and I just see the big welt in between his wrist and where his pinky is just forming. It was the size of I would say a golf ball. But yeah, basically he drove himself to the ER because it was 3 o'clock in the morning. No, 3 o'clock in the morning. The kids were asleep. He didn't want me to wake him up. Drove himself. Sure enough, clean break. Put him in a cast. He's been in a cast with his strong. And to make it worse, it was his right hand that he broke, which is his dominant hand, and the hand that he uses to do everything with: play video games, edit the podcast, and it's broken.
But
so
he's almost done.
He's almost done. Yeah, he has a week left. So he's been out of work. They didn't let him go back to work because they're like, "Oh, you need your right hand to work." So yeah, poor Tim's been stuck at home for the last couple of weeks,
being bored,
staring at the wall. He said that he started reading.
Wow.
Because he can't do anything else.
Wow.
Yeah, so that happened. And then...
Yes. And then I got COVID.
Random.
The most randomest. Oh, sorry, guys. I have a lisp today because I got some braces, some invisible braces. It's called Bite. Anyway, so this episode is going to be lispy. I'm supposed to get used to the feeling,
lisp,
but the feeling, and then the lisp should go away. But anyway, I got COVID, but it was so weird because we were supposed to record Monday. after Easter, and I just told Mandy, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't feel good. Like, my throat hurts.
Yeah, and then me and Tim were like running errands all day, and then it happened to be my nephew's birthday that day, so we ended up going to my sister-in-law's house. So it was just a busy day in general, and then like it's weird. Me and Gato text all day, so like she didn't even text me in the morning. Normally, like you're up like sometimes early. Before me, too.
Yeah.
And I wake up early for the kids to take them to daycare, and she hadn't texted me. I was like, oh, she's probably sleeping in. And then you text me around noon. You're like, I think I'm just gonna stay home today. I'm like, okay, well, we're busy anyway.
But I didn't feel good. And then Tuesday, I texted my boss, and I'm like, my throat really hurts. Like, it hurts so bad. Like, I don't think I can go to work. Like, I was coughing and I had a headache. And she's like, no, just take the day off. I'm like, okay. Then I found out my niece had COVID. My niece stayed with me all weekend. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I went to Walgreens and I did a test. Sure enough, I was positive. And I told my boss, and she's like, yeah, no, stay home till next week. But this was my second time getting COVID. And I could say like the first time when it like was barely starting, it wasn't that bad. But this second time, all I was doing was asleep. Like, I wasn't even posting on Instagram, which I do a lot. I was like, people were literally texting me like, are you alive? I'm just like in and out of sleep. It was
every worst. 2 hours.
Yeah, I would literally fall asleep every 2 hours. It was weird. But I'm fine. We're live. We're back.
Yeah.
We're good.
It's the scary, not scary curse.
We have a curse, but this always happens. Like, something always happens where we have to take a month off. It's weird.
It's like a weird cycle, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
At different times.
I feel like we just need cleanings. But it's so weird. The universe knows when to keep us apart, because I remember the very first time you had COVID, I just went on bed rest with Jason, and you were supposed to come over, and something happened to where, like, I think something happened to your tire in your car. You didn't come over, and then you started feeling sick Saturday night, Sunday, and then that's when work sent you to get tested, and then you were COVID positive. Yep. And then that happened, and then I remember I got sick, and I wasn't feeling good. I think you and Ashley were supposed to come over, and Ashley was going to bring Sophie. And I woke up with my throat hurting, my head hurting, and I was like, girls, I don't feel good. Sure enough, I had the flu, which I think it was like that strain where it was like the flu and COVID. Yeah. My COVID test kept coming back negative, but I think they tested me too early because I ended up losing my taste and smell. But yeah, like the universe kept us apart then, and then this happened again with you getting COVID.
Yeah, so it's been a crazy month, but we're back and we're ready to record. And I won't have this lisp next time. I promise. Just today.
I feel like I'm gonna, like, during the episode, I'm gonna be off. Hello, scary doll.
Scary doll.
Hello, scary doll. How is everybody doing?
We broken promises.
No, and
numbers.
I was sitting there like getting all my notes together for the episode, and then I just hear Gato going like
messing with my teeth.
I hear her slurping, and I look at her and I just see her tongue like running across her teeth.
Guys, I'm not used to it. It's like getting braces. Like, my teeth hurt.
Well, technically it is braces.
It is braces. But my teeth, they hurt so bad.
Literally, the moment you put it on, I want to take them off. I don't want to do this anymore.
Literally.
Well, just remember how much that box cost you.
$2,000. If y'all want to get some braces, I really like this company. They should sponsor us.
They should. Sponsor us.
But yes, here we are. We're back and we're excited to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to be more active again on Instagram. Sorry. It's been a weird month.
Yeah, super weird.
This, like we said, this always happens. So I'm kind of not surprised. I think I'm used to it by now. Yeah. Tim's more than any of us is used to it. Because even he's like, when are y'all going to record? I'm like, Gato has COVID right now. And so, yeah.
I really did feel like I was dying, though. All I wanted to do was sleep.
Well, I remember you texted me that you were scared to fall asleep.
I was, because I couldn't breathe. I had to prop myself up.
And then we did see Ashley this weekend, so shout out to Ashley. Happy birthday. We love you. We had so much fun. She had a crime
true crime
crime party. It was super
cute.
She had like all these little true crime games, the tape, the caution tape, the blood everywhere. And of course, Nick made her a true crime cake and it was so good.
It was. That frosting was good.
The frosting.
Shut up.
Okay, sorry. Okay. I'll stop. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, anyways, I had a sleep paralysis episode. It was super weird. It's been a while since I had one. And I was asleep on my back and I felt my body just like get paralyzed. And I had the door closed because that night it was when it was thundering. And we lost power for like 4 hours or probably about 5+ hours in the house. Oh, yeah. And I can see my door because I had it closed and it just like slowly opened. And I see somebody like slow, like a figure. Couldn't tell like who or what it was, but a figure just like slowly walking to the bed on my side. And then it got like super close to my face. And then I just felt like a hand like clamp my jaw and open up my jaw. And I felt my mouth open. And then I had, because I get locked jaw. And I felt my jaw just lock, but open. It was ugly. And I remember I was trying really hard to like move my hand to wake up Tim, but I felt myself like tapping Sabrina. But it's weird because I was like in and out of it. Like I felt myself awake. And like when I came to, the door was closed. And then like when I went back into like whatever state I was in, the door was back open and the figure was in front of me. So it was weird. I was like jumping in and out of it.
Out of the dream. Oh.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, the one thing that woke me up was I screamed and I yelled, "Mommy, help me." I don't know why I did, but I did. But that's what woke me up. But when I woke up, my mouth was still like open. And so I had to like close it. And then I heard my jaw like crackle. Like it popped. Yeah. It was so gross. So I don't know if like my body just like contorted and like, I don't know. It was so gross.
You need a camera on you when
and
you
I'm
sleep.
pretty sure like thinking about it, I was telling Tim like thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I probably looked fucking possessed because my mouth was open wide.
Oh my god, like locked wide.
Yeah, locked wide. So can you imagine like walking in and I'm like,
bitch, wake up! There's a ghost putting its dick in your mouth.
Oh my god! But I remember like even like being in and out, I thought I had my hand like hitting Tim, and then I would like jump back to reality, and my hand was like still next to me. But when I would jump back into like the state I was in, my hand was hitting Tim, like trying to get him to wake up to help me.
Oh my god!
And the only thing that really like snapped me out of it was when I screamed, "Mommy, help me!" But I don't know how I did that with my mouth open the way it was.
Mommy dearest,
it was weird. Well, yeah, if there was a camera in there, if I would have put that shit on the internet, people would be like, "Oh, she's possessed." Oh my god, yeah, it was so weird. I was telling Tim about it. He goes, "Oh," all he said was, "I'm sorry."
I should have woke. Yeah, you should have woke up, Tim.
I'm like, I'm surprised he didn't wake up with me yelling and scream, because normally he wakes up like with me yelling like that, and he was like, "I didn't hear you." So I'm like, well, did I really scream, "Mommy, help me"?
You probably screamed in your dream.
I don't know. It was so fucking weird because I woke up with my mouth open and everything.
I didn't tell you this, but I didn't tell anyone this. When I had COVID, you know how I was in and out of sleep that whole week or whatever? Well, I woke up randomly at 3 a.m. and I'm like, let me be on TikTok for a little bit and then I'll go back to sleep. So I was on TikTok and I'm scrolling and this girl goes, "Stop, wait." And I was like, you know, whenever I hear that, yeah. I'm like, oh, what? Like, what's going on? What's up, girl? She said something like, "Lilith wants you to know that she's waiting for you, and she knows that it was weird. It was like, she's waiting for you, and she wants you to know that she's here with you." And I kid you not, when that girl said that, I heard on my door like scratching.
You did tell me that.
Oh my god, I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Lilith, is that you, girl?" But I just thought like the timing was perfect. Yeah. It might have been a cat outside, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you have like thousands of cats outside.
The timing, I was literally like, Lilith, can you cure me from COVID? Please and thank you.
That's so funny because I come across a video like that and it was like Lilith knows you're thinking of her.
Yes, it was something like that.
And
it was
it's
at
weird
3
because
in the morning.
I have been thinking a lot about Lilith, but only because remember I told you like the story that I want to write, and I've been thinking a lot about like my plot and like what I want it to like be. So I've been thinking a lot about that. So I am technically thinking about her, but it's weird that I come across those videos that are like, she knows that you're thinking about her. I'm like,
I think it was a video like that, and it said that, and I was just like, what
me? Okay, well, I apologize.
Lilith, I have COVID. Please come keep me company.
Make me skinny.
Make me skinny winnie. I did lose like 5 pounds because I wasn't eating. I was just sleeping.
You're starving yourself.
I know. Ugh.
Okay, guys. So we're going to go ahead and just jump into today's topic, or the topic for this week. There are many ways to announce this topic or to pronounce this topic. So I'm just going to pronounce it the best way I can. And everybody who lives out there, please don't butcher me. I apologize.
Oh my God.
So we're going to be talking about the Appalachian Mountains, or Appalachia trails, or somebody online said it's pronounced Appalachian or Appalachian.
Girl, I don't know.
These mountains go through like so many different states. They even go through southern Canada, and everybody has different accents. Everybody pronounce things differently, but I'm just going to say Appalachia. Appalachian.
That's the way I learned, I guess.
Yeah, same. So the mountain range is mostly in the United States, though it does extend into southeastern Canada. The term Appalachian refers to several different regions associated with the mountain range. Most broadly, it refers to the entire mountain range with its surrounding hills and district region. The term is often used restrictively to refer the region in the central and southern Appalachian Mountains, usually including areas in the states of Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, and North Carolina, and sometimes it extends as far as northern Alabama, Georgia, western South Carolina, and as far as north of Pennsylvania, and southern and east central Ohio. Lower New York, I'm not done. Lower New York and the southern tier region of New York.
Damn.
So it's huge.
Because my heart is in Ohio.
And like the Rocky Mountains and stuff. Yeah, so the Rocky Mountains are actually a lot younger than the Appalachian Mountains. So they got broken up over the years. So that's why it's not like one long, otherwise it would be like one long mountain going across the sea. But yeah, so over the years it got broken up, but it's huge. It goes through many different states, and it's a huge how do you call it? Rural area. I can't say that.
Rural? Girl, I can't even talk right
rural?
now. Rural area.
So there's the Appalachian Mountains, the trails. There's a lot of forest everywhere. I mean, there's so much to cover on the Appalachian Mountains. This isn't going to be like a whole episode. We are going to break this up into multiple episodes, probably like a couple of episodes a month that we can talk about the Appalachian Mountains, because there's so much to cover on it. When we were doing our research, we were sitting there like, so I think we need to pinpoint some things.
Yeah.
Because it was super overwhelming. There's like true crime in here too. Aliens, ghosts, creatures, so much. And just like the typical like trying to survive, like people getting lost on the trails and they don't have enough food or water, or like their phone dies.
That's
it
why I
gets
don't
cold
hike
out there. Yeah, like hikers who get lost.
That's scary.
Survival, like there's so much. It's not all paranormal. Like it's real life scary shit that happens out here in the mountains and in the trails. So it's super scary. But of course, we know everybody wants to hear about the super spooky paranormal side of it. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that for this episode. So we are going to be covering the spooky ooky kooky dooky part of the Appalachian trails and mountains. So there are so many cryptids that have been associated with Appalachia. And during my research, I was actually telling Garo this earlier. I like to kind of like backtrack and re-verify myself. So if like I find something on like a certain topic that we're covering, I like to go back and verify what I'm saying is actually true and associate it with that thing we're talking about. So a lot of cryptids that came up with Appalachia are actually not really associated with it. It's just like internet influencers that are trying to get more views, and they just throw like different cryptids involved.
TikTok.
Right. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, just the interwebs in general, that like to just throw different cryptids as part of the Appalachia, because it's so big and there's so much to cover. And a lot of people who live there get very offended by it, and they're like, I don't know why you're associating these cryptids or these made-up creatures or what have you in our area. Like, this isn't true, I've never seen them, or there's nothing wrong, there's nothing in our forest, blah blah blah. And then you have those few people that do actually live in the forest, in the rural area, that are like, no, like we've seen things too, but not these specific cryptids, other things. So I went ahead and looked up a few like ghost stories, and I think there's like maybe one cryptid in here, but we'll go ahead and jump in and get started. So the first one I'm going to be talking about, I don't know if y'all have heard of it, but it's called the hide behind. And technically the hide behind can be anywhere where there's a rural area or forests. So the hide behind basically is a mysterious nocturnal creature from American folklore. So it's said that the hide behind preys upon humans that wander in the woods, especially at night. So it's credited for the disappearances, like I said, of travelers, hunters, anybody who camps out at night. It's associated with like the reason why these people disappear. So early accounts describe the hide behinds as a large, powerful animal, despite the fact that no one was able to see them. So this is just like all speculation, hearsay. So as its name, it suggests that the hide behind is noted for its ability to conceal itself. When an observer attempts to look directly at it, the creature quickly hides behind an object or the observer so that it can't directly see them. So if, it's almost like if like when you see like somebody or something staring at you from the corner of your eye and you look, it can like hide behind a tree or hide behind a bush and like just blend in. Or in some cases, it hides directly behind you. So when you turn around, it's just like following you like wherever you go. Yeah, super scary. So the hide behind uses this ability to stalk human prey without being observed and to attack without warning. Once the person is killed, the hide behind drags the person back to their lair to eat them. And it's also said how you can protect yourself from the hide behind is, it's going to sound crazy, but the hide behind apparently doesn't like alcohol. So the best way to protect yourself from a hide behind, or if you feel like you're being stalked and preyed on by a hide behind, is to drink alcohol, because when it eats you, it wants to eat your intestines and it does not like the taste or smell of alcohol. So basically what I'm going to do if I ever want to like hike anywhere, especially if I go to Appalachia for whatever reason, I'm going to get drunk, but also take a shower in alcohol before I go.
Yep.
Come here, Jimmy Dean. Or Jimmy Beam.
This is why I don't go
Come here, Jack.
This is why I don't work out or go hiking.
Let me rub Jack all over me before I go out and hike. So in Appalachia, so out there's sometimes a lot of hikers, travelers that go missing, and hunters that go missing too. So there's a lot of folklore. No matter where you're at, Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, Carolina, wherever, Tennessee, Kentucky, a lot of these stories of these missing people, a lot of folklore around it is that they were taken by a hide behind. So that's why like they can't find their bodies, because this creature takes them and essentially like you disappear with it too, wherever it may lay. So be careful with the hide behinds. I've actually seen some videos on YouTube because I was looking it up. And because I was talking about it, my FBI agent was like sending me videos.
Yeah. Thanks, FBI.
Yeah. So there's actually somebody who caught maybe, I don't know, a hide behind on video. So they're like driving and it's really dark at night. And that's the thing too. These things come at you at night. So if anything, like don't go hiking at night. And if you go camping, stay in your tent. Don't go. And if you gotta pee, bitch, hold that until the sunrise comes up, because
no UTI.
that thing's gonna get you. Or
Eat
get a
my
porta
ass.
potty in your tent.
I will pee on a cryptid creature. I don't give a fuck.
I'm peeing. Can you wait?
Can you just let me like pee?
Can you imagine like being dragged off with your pants down like that? Like, and you're still like, you're trying to pee your
I
shit.
will literally pee on them. I don't give a fuck.
You want a golden shower?
Yum. Hey, you never know. Maybe pee would like ward them away.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you get drunk and you pee. They don't like the smell of
alcoholic
alcohol.
ass pee.
Just soak your ass in alcohol.
Oh my god.
Why are we like this?
Don't you get drunk like that?
I don't know.
I heard that if you want to get drunk faster, you shove the alcohol up your ass.
Well, that's why like they say like when kids, if they can't take the medicine orally, you like put it up their butt because it'll hit your system faster. But why
Put
would
it up my ass.
Why would you want to put alcohol? Anyways,
Sorry.
back to the hide behind. In this video, these people are, I don't know why they were pulled over, first of all, and they were in like the wooded area. Apparently this was somewhere in the Appalachia trails, mountains, in the wooded area out there. And when they pulled over, they put the camera up to, I guess, a tree, and you see very faintly something behind the tree. When they turn the light from the camera off, you see it kind of peek out, and it's just like a silhouette of something. So these people were like, it's probably like a hide behind, all this internet spoofs in the comments are like, it's a hide behind, it's a hide behind. There's some people on there that are like, no, it looks like it could be like a baby bear. Mm-hmm. A black baby bear. Okay, I understand that, but just the way it's so weird. I need to look for the video and then post it.
The way it looked.
Just the way when she pointed the camera with the light on, you faintly see something, and then when she turns it off, you just see like the figure like peek its head out and like look from behind the tree. It's weird. It's so weird. There's a couple of other videos too where I'm kind of like, I don't know. There's even somebody on YouTube that made like a short video or like a short movie of a hide behind, and it's freaking scary. This guy's like hiking in the woods by himself, and like he keeps seeing something on the corner of its eye, and every time he turns around, very quickly it hides behind a tree.
Oh, and then hide behind.
So apparently if you do see it, or if you do feel like you're being stalked, you're supposed to keep calm, and you're not supposed to run, because when you run, it catches up to you more. So you're supposed to like try to keep a calm.
Pretend it's not there.
Pretend it's not there. Yes, pretty much.
How can you do that? Like, I would be like,
my heart would have fell out of my ass, and I would have just died right there.
No kidding. Same.
Yes. So there's also this ghost story that is associated with Appalachia. There's a little graveyard in North Carolina in Macon County that sits far from civilization. So the graves here have stood since long before the Civil War. The stone features barely like descriptions of anybody. So like they're so old that like the engravings on them look almost smooth. Like, like those like really old headstones. So this is kind of like what these headstones look like. It's just really old. So amongst the overgrown tombstones wanders the spirit of a lonely girl named Hannah. So to those who've witnessed the ghost, they explain that she's like this beautiful, young, sweet girl that's in the graveyard, that some people apparently say that they see her, and that she's apparently super eager to show herself to anybody who ventures like through like the forgotten path of this graveyard. So Hannah is buried in this graveyard, and she is surrounded by a lot of like nameless graves. And among these graves, there's like criminals and murderers and other unknown people who have done like really nasty things in their life. So there's also a lot of nasty energy around this area. And a lot of investigators who go here say that it overpowers Hannah's energy too. So in one infamous instance, 2 young men had gone to the graveyard to purposely taunt the ghosts. and had returned so shocked that they would take the experience to their grave. So when they came back, they were too scared and like too stunned. And apparently they came across this graveyard because they were taking the trails, the Appalachian trails, and they wandered off. They ended up in the Macon County, and then they came across the graveyard. Well, they heard stories and like rumors about this graveyard being haunted. And so they went there purposely to like be Zach Baggins, like talk shit to these spirits, and nobody knows what happened. They wouldn't say what happened. Till this day, apparently, like, they're like, no, like, we're not going to say what happened. So I don't know. Maybe somebody got possessed. Maybe they got dragged. I don't fucking know.
Doing it for clout, but that's
maybe
weird.
So a lot of people wonder why, like, they want to know why somebody like Hannah, because whenever people do come across her, or like hikers come across her in the trails, they say that she's super sweet. And a lot of times, like, if they're lost, they'll see they'll see Hannah, what they're thinking is Hannah, like this nice person just kind of like walking, and they'll kind of follow her, and it'll lead them back to the trail so they won't get lost. These are just like, you know, folklore legends. So a lot of people like to know why she's buried there away from her family, and why is she buried in the middle of criminals and like people who did bad things in her life. Well, apparently the legend goes is that she was buried far from her family on purpose to be punished by her husband's parents for not sharing her faith. She was outcast from the rest of Hannah's. So Hannah was basically outcasted from her family, and to punish her, they went ahead and put her where the nameless headstones are, where basically like people that died due to criminal activities. So her in-laws basically buried her there as punishment because she didn't have the same beliefs they did.
Ugh, disgusting.
Isn't that gross?
Yep.
Disgusting. So a lot of hikers that hike the trails do say, like, if they're getting lost, they do see somebody walking, and just for whatever reason, like this, and like, I guess like her energy is so big and beautiful, they just have like this feeling like, oh, I need to follow her.
Yeah.
So
that's
she's
cute,
but she's real quick to show. So a lot of these stories say that she's real quick to show herself to anybody that comes across the path, even if like you're not going through it. If you're in the area, she'll kind of like help you get back on the path, so that way you don't get lost. If that makes sense.
That's cute.
Yeah. So that's the story of little Hannah, and I have a picture of her little headstone. So I don't know, I'm kind of confused, because there's some stories that say she's like a beautiful woman. There's another story that says that she's a beautiful little girl, but she was married. So I'm assuming she's a woman. I don't know.
I hope she's not a little girl.
Yeah, that would, I mean, I don't know. Kind of, I mean, back then.
Yeah, back then it was weird.
My great grandma married my grandpa, I think, at a young age.
My grandma had a cleaning lady, and she said that she got married at 12 years old. That's weird.
Oh yeah, that was not that it's okay, but I mean, that's how it was back then. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is called the spear finger, which sounds hilarious, but this actually comes from a Cherokee legend of a shape-shifting stone-skinned witch with a long knife in place of one of her fingers. Or in other legends, it's a lady who just has a really long finger, and she uses it to cut up her victims. So she's often described as like an old woman. She would take the form to convince Cherokee children that she was like their grandmother, their aunt, basically somebody that they love and trust, or somebody they trust in general. And she would sit with them, she would brush their hair, tell them stories, and she would say that she would tell them a story so they can fall asleep. So while these kids were sleeping, what she would do is she would use her finger to gouge them and to take their livers and eat them.
Well, who wants to eat liver?
So she roamed the mountains between what would become the western part of North Carolina and the eastern part side of Tennessee. And they say that even though the Cherokee caught and destroyed her, you can still hear her shrieks and crackles through the mountains at night. So it's highly, highly, highly recommended to not go out at night. And they say that she actually targets like children. So let's say you go out with your kids in that area and you're camping. So she will try her damnedest to separate the children from the family. Oh. So that way she can take them, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
So a lot of the parents in the village areas use this legend to make sure that the children never stray off from the families. So these kids are so terrified that they're like attached to their mom and dad and like won't go anywhere, which I feel like I would do that to my kids. I don't
tie him around you with the leash.
Yeah. So she's called the Spearfinger. There's another name for her too. So her Cherokee name is called Untan, which is translated to she had it sharp, which is about her sharp finger on her right hand that she uses to kill her victims. And apparently you're not supposed to say her name because it's bad luck. So I'll go ahead and cleanse after this. I think y'all should cleanse after. I probably should have gave that warning in the beginning.
Warning.
Anything that has to do with like legends, you know.
Be a little extra careful.
Mm-hmm. But apparently there are rules to follow whenever you're out in the Appalachia area. So if you hear something, no, you don't.
Great.
If you see something, no, you don't. If something calls your name, no, it didn't. You're supposed to leave quickly without running. Never go outside at night. Never, ever, ever go outside at night. Never whistle at night either, because apparently these draw in like all the bad spirits. So a lot of the legends around the Appalachia area is that at night is when the spirits around there are more active. The cryptids are more active. And apparently a lot of these spirits and cryptids can mimic names or mimic voices. So it'll sound like let's say you were out there and you're out there at night throwing the trash. You would hear me in the woods, Gato, come here, to try to stray you away.
Me
to
what?
Take you.
And I walk over.
What the hell do you want?
What, bitch?
Why don't you just call me? So be careful, guys.
Hell no. That's why I'm not part of the.
That kind of makes me curious to go. There's so much stuff out there too. I'm like, I feel like I would go, but with somebody who lives out there and knows the area.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go by myself.
Hell no.
Well, you're technically not supposed to go by yourself, but there's a lot of influencers that go out there by themselves.
People that don't give a fuck, like they'll do anything for views.
Yeah, I saw that there's somebody on YouTube that their 80-year-old grandma lives out in the woods by herself. She just likes the isolation, and like he goes out there and like cuts her grass and makes sure she's okay. But she's like, I just like the solitude.
That would be me.
Yeah, away from people and
just
humans.
Me and my cat. Living our best life. So I did find some creepy stories about the mountains. So this is from discoverwalks.com. I hate my voice right now. Oh my God. All I can hear is my fucking lisp.
I love your voice.
Shut up. Making fun of me. Okay. So this one is called Man Pursued by a Scorched Man. The name is literally so literal. Oh my God. Okay. It says hiking alone along the Appalachian Mountain Trail might bring up some inner fear and imagination of being followed or pursued by some unseen human or animal. In 2011, a certain man decided to take a week off from work and go hiking alone. Bitch, first red flag right there. How? It says, at the beginning of the hike, everything was going well until he got a frightening experience that he will never forget. As he got deeper into the trail, day turned into night, he camped over at his tent. One night, the man heard some noises approaching his tent, but he never got bothered by them, nor did he go out to check where the noise was coming from. The following day, he continued with his hike. Wait, so how long are these hikes?
I mean, I think it just depends on the area that you're in.
That's weird.
Because it's so big.
Yeah.
And there's so many trails.
Like you go hiking for a couple hours, not like fucking camp out.
You can camp out there, but it's recommended not to. Well, I think you have to be really experienced, but I think the biggest, and it's not that it's the paranormal side, it's more like the survival side of it. Like you have to make sure you're prepared. You have to make sure you have the right equipment. Everything works. Your cell service, all that. Apparently, I read online that the best cell service that works out there is Verizon. So if you have Verizon, you're Gucci.
You are good to go. What about Metro? Bitch, it's dead.
Cricket.
My fucking Metro phone don't even work inside.
I used to have Cricket.
What is it? A concert venue. Okay. Anyway, sorry. The following day, he continued with his hike and he made camp where he sat around a fire. Suddenly, he was left shocked when he saw a man standing near his fire with his hands and body badly burned and his face was smoking. That's creepy. This experience shocked him and left him numb, but the burnt figure kept staring at him before walking away. The scared man decided to pack his bags and leave the area quickly, only to come across a recently burned down house with a sheriff around it. This sheriff told the man that 4 days before, the entire family that lived there had burned in that house.
What?
So he saw the ghost of that man that died in that house. Ew, creepy. Okay, anyway, this other one is called A Young Girl Spots a Ghost. Not many people believe in ghosts, but some believe that they do exist, with some haunting to those who messed with them and others being helpful. A girl was hiking with her parents along the Appalachian mountains when she had her first experience of a ghost. During the hike, they had to make camp for the night. As her father was fast asleep, she was frightened by something that could not give her any sleep. The following morning, after that creepy night, the girl took her mom for a walk before they continued hiking. As they were walking around, her mom suddenly stopped and stared blankly into the distance. So the young girl followed her mother's gaze and saw a hazy apparition which stood against a tree a few meters from where they were. It was a man who was calm and he looked sad, but he just faded away. How do you see that a man looks calm and sad?
I don't know.
Scary. Okay, let me see.
I wonder if he had like his head down and he was just like kind of standing there.
Probably. This one is called Mysterious Children Giggling. Ew. Another creepy story is about children who seem to be odd and very creepy to a group of hikers along the Appalachian Mountain Trail. So a group of hikers had set camp at a location after several miles of hiking. After a good night's sleep, the hikers woke up to something bizarre as they were backpacking. On this morning, the group of hikers woke up and found their campsite surrounded by a thick mist, which was not fading away as the sun came out. They began packing up and started hearing children's laughter coming around them. As the group was about to get done with packing, a group of children led by one parent walked out of the mist and started walking past them. These creepy kids asked the hikers where they were going, and someone responded that they were hiking along the Appalachian Trail. The kids all started laughing, and one of them said, "This isn't the Appalachian Trail." And then they all walked off. The hikers spent the whole day hearing children giggling around them.
Stop. I feel like that's the worst.
Kids?
Like, I don't know what it is about kid spirits.
Kids laughing?
I think it's because, creepy. Like, they're little and, like, just imagine, like, a little thing running after you or, like, running past you. Like, that little girl I used to see. Yeah. I don't know why. Like, out of everything, like, I would see.
That scared you the most?
Yes. Yeah. And, like, just hearing, like, the little feet. Sometimes, like, Sabrina and Jason, their little feet freaks me out sometimes. Yeah. Like, just hearing the little feet, like,
walking around.
Yeah. And then the laughing.
Yeah. No. Hearing kids laughing, especially when you don't have any, that's fucking scary.
Oh my god.
So for this story, you know, my whole ass always goes to Reddit. This one is from Reddit No Sleep, and the username is Conflict Sharp 9946. It's called In the Mountains. God damn it, mountains. I hate it. I'm so sorry, you guys. It was a dark and stormy night, the kind of night that made you want to curl up in bed with a good book and forget about the outside world. But for one group of people, there was no escaping the horrors that lurked in the darkness. It was 1959. A group of hikers were making their way through the Appalachian Mountains in the United States. They were a seasoned group, well equipped for rugged and accustomed to spending long stretches of time in the wilderness. As they made their way deeper into the mountains, they began to sense that something was not right. The air was heavy with a sense of foreboding, and they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. As they set up camp for the night, they couldn't help but notice that the animals had gone silent. There was not even a sound of a single bird or insect in the air. It was as if the entire forest had gone still, waiting for something to happen. As the night wore on, the hikers huddled around the campfire, trying to stay warm and calm their nerves. But it was no use. They could feel the presence of something lurking in the darkness, and they knew that they were not alone. Suddenly, without warning, the darkness was shattered by a blood-curdling scream. One of the hikers had been dragged from the camp. One of the hikers had been dragged from the camp by an unseen force, and they could hear the sound of his struggling and pleading as he was being dragged further and further away. The remaining hikers knew they had to act fast. They gathered their things and fled into the night, not knowing where they were going or what dangers laid ahead. As they stumbled through the darkness, they were chased by the same unseen force that had taken their companion. They could hear the sound of its breathing behind them. They could feel its hot breath on their necks. At last, after what seemed like an eternity, they came up to a small cabin deep in the forest. They pounded on the door, desperate for shelter and help. To their relief, the door was opened by an elderly man who lived alone in the cabin. He welcomed the hikers inside and locked the door behind them, promising them to keep them safe from whatever horrors lurked outside. As the night wore on, the hikers began to realize that the old man was not who he seemed. They overheard him talking to himself in a strange language, and they saw him performing a bizarre ritual in the corner of a room. As the storm raged outside, one of the hikers realized with growing horror that they were not alone in the cabin. There were other beings in the room with them, shadowy figures that seemed to move out of the corner of their eye. As dawn broke, the hikers fled the cabin and ran for their lives, never looking back. They never spoke of the terrifying encounter in the Appalachian Mountains, but the memory of the dark and stormy night stayed with them for the rest of their lives. And that is the end. I don't know. That seemed made up, but it was a good read.
That was a good story.
But also imagine you're all around a campfire and then one of your friends just gets dragged into the darkness.
No, I feel like that's terrifying.
Yeah, no, that is terrifying. I don't know what I would do.
What do you do? Like, well, obviously, like, you try to save them. But, like, I feel like when you're in the moment like that and things happen, all common sense just fly out the window and you literally, like, you don't know what to do.
I think I would just run like a headless chicken, honestly. Like, just run.
Like, run in circles?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Run in circles and maybe find an Olive Garden in the woods.
Oh, that's my favorite story.
Guys, if y'all don't know that story, then you're not an OG.
You need yeah.
But yes, those are the stories that I found. Me with my little lisp trying to read is the most annoying thing I've ever heard.
Well, this isn't really like paranormal, but I think it's kind of like, now that you said that,
What?
worth to talk about. So not all things in the woods are scary, Caro.
Why?
And maybe this will encourage you to want to go hiking alone in the woods.
What? Oh my
So
God.
I'm going to be talking about the story of a love story that happened in the Appalachian Trails.
Oh, let's see.
So Sarah, so there's this girl, her name is Sarah. So in May of 2015, she decided to spend a long Memorial weekend hiking a New York-based section of the Appalachian Trails. So she just wanted to get away. She was turning 30. She loved her job, her friends, her life in Long Island, New York, but she always felt a pull like towards the woods. She just had like this feeling. And this was actually on CNN. Like,
oh shit,
this was like on the news and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, you already saw the photos.
No,
So you're like,
I didn't look at the title though.
So she goes to the trail. She's hiking. She's just hanging out in her hammock. And she's with her dog. And she's just, you know, chilling pretty much. She said that she grew up in Maine, where the Appalachian Trail starts or ends. She's like, starts or ends, whatever you want to say. So she's already familiar with the trail. So that's why she went. And that's why she's comfortable going by herself. Well, she's hanging out with her dog in the hammock, and she ends up bumping into another hiker that's there, and it's a guy. Mm-hmm. And she said the moment that they locked eyes, like she felt something instantly, and like she was suddenly like comfortable with this person. And like she felt like she can trust him. And obviously, like she thought he was like attractive, and like he was wearing his baseball cap backwards. Like she's going into detail, right? And like how she felt. And like she said this whole time, like she's trying to play it cool. She's trying not to be like the schoolgirl, like hee 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 ha ha giggle giggle. She's like trying to play it cool. She was telling him about like the yellow trail that's out there, and like where there's like a nice little river that he can sit by. And so he's like, oh yeah, cool. Can you go ahead and send me a PDF of the map? He's like, I would like to travel through there. So she's like, oh yeah, sure. Like I'll give you the app. So he said his name was Travis. They exchanged numbers. She was like, okay, well, I'm gonna, you know, good luck on the rest of your hike or whatever. So at this point, she's like excited because she has his number and all that, right? So she ends up going back to her car, and she said when she got to her car, she went ahead and texted him the PDF of the map, and it went through, but like no reply. Mm-hmm. And then finally she went back home, and like she was kind of like trying not to look at her phone. She was unpacking, but she's like trying not to look at her phone. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you text a guy, but you're trying like not to stare at your phone the whole time.
Back so fast.
Right. So then she did get a reply back, and it said, "Hi, this is Kathy. I don't know who you are. Why are you sending me this?" So then she was kind of bummed, right? And she's kind of like, "Well, no, I met you in the woods. Like, remember, my name's Sarah." And she's like, "No, I'm sorry. I don't know who you are." So like she tells her girlfriends, and the girlfriend's like, "Girl, I bet you like he's probably married or has a girlfriend, and like
gave you the wrong
number, right?" And she's like, "Oh, that sucks." So she was with one of her friends, and she's like, "Well, let me see his number. Let me see the number again." And for whatever reason, the friend's like, "I don't know, that 6 looks off. Switch these two numbers." So she told her to switch the 6 and the 3, which she did. She sent hi, and right away she got the 3 bubbles, and he replied back, "Hey, where's the map that you were gonna send me?"
Oh,
no, he said, "Who's this?" And she said, "This is Sarah. We met in the woods." He said, "Oh yeah, where's the map you were gonna send me?" Mm-hmm. So then from there is when like they start messaging back and forth. They end up going on hikes together. The hikes turn into like dinner dates, movie dates. They end up falling in love.
Aww.
And he proposed to her on the Appalachian Trail. They took their wedding photos on the Appalachian Mountains. Look at that. And now they're living happily ever after. And it's a true story.
That is so cute.
It's on CNN. They did like a whole article on
That's never going to happen to me, girl.
It can happen. Even if it's a spirit.
So cute.
Spirits are the best.
Sorry, hold on.
It's non-paranormal related, but...
No, that is cute as fuck.
I feel like though it would be scary, like you're just kind of like chilling by yourself with your dog, and like this, you just come across a guy. Like humans are scary.
Yeah, humans are scarier than ghosts.
But you know what? Like for her to feel comfortable with him and have that instant connection, I think is pretty cool too. And because for whatever reason, like the way she said it, that weekend specifically, like she was being pulled to like go hiking. She didn't know why, but it's because
they were meant to meet.
They were meant to bump into each other.
God, that is cute.
And then for her friend to be like, I don't know, I feel like these 2 numbers need to be switched. And it was his number after she switched the numbers.
It was meant to be. They were meant to be.
So not all things are scary out there in Appalachia.
There's love stories, baby.
There's love stories.
That is cute. I want to meet someone. Probably at Walmart. I don't know. Just kidding.
Why not Target? Walmart. People be crazy in Walmart, okay?
I know.
No matter what side of town you're on, you can be over there by like Stone Oak area, by the quarry. Is there even a Walmart over there?
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Even though the Walmart by the quarry, wherever, there's going to be people walking around in their slippers and boxers and pajamas.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh my God. But that's a cute story.
It is.
Maybe I will meet someone one day.
And they're gonna... Never mind. That's mean.
What?
I was going to say, yeah, you're going to bump into somebody and they're going to be like a spirit.
Oh my God.
You would fall in love with the ghost.
I'll fall in love with anyone. No, I'm just kidding.
Shut up. No. Oh
yeah.
So next time, just to give everybody like a sneak peek, we are going to be covering the true crime part of the Appalachia area and covering like the survival part too, because I found a couple of stories in my research about the survival part, and that's fucking scary.
This is gonna be a good time.
I even read where somebody got attacked by, was it a bear? I think it was a bear, and they laid still and the bear like left him, so like he was like fighting for his life out there.
That's scary.
Yeah. So I think that would be cool to talk about.
More into detail.
Yeah, I know. I kind of gave you a sneak peek.
Sneak peek.
Yeah. So if y'all have any stories y'all want us to cover, or if you have any stories about the Appalachian Mountains or trails that you would like to tell us about, or like for us to read on the podcast for the next episode, let us know. You can send us an email at scarynotscarypodcast@gmail.com. You can, of course, make sure to follow us on all of social medias. You can also message us your stories there. Make sure you rate and review us on all the major platforms. Get us in the charts. And I believe that's it.
That's it.
Damn, that's it, right?
We love you guys.
I know we love you. Sorry for the hiatus.
But we're back.
We're back. We're back.
We're back, yeah.
We're back. We're tired, exhausted, but we're back.
Exhausted.
And sorry for calling you a pussycat doll.
And sorry for my lisp this episode.
Jason made a cameo in the episode again.
I love him.
What?
What you want?
What you want, little MTV? He's wearing an MTV shirt today.
I love him.
My little baby. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it right here. Just remember not to go out at night.
And don't go hiking. Remember.
You're all screw nature.
Fuck that shit. I'm safe at home.
Stop. No, not us earlier with whatever it was that was crawling on my roof.
Oh, yes. We didn't even tell them.
Yeah. We'll save that for next time.
We'll save it, yeah.
Now you have to come back for the next episode, bitches. I'm just kidding. You're not a bitch. We love you.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Until next time, remember to always stay